Hello everyone, it's Deb Floros for Jesse James Beads. I'm going to be using these incredible fun connectors, which could be bracelet connectors or necklace connectors. They are floral, they've got 4 loops on them. We're going to use them for earrings. I'm going to use this Canyon Mini Mix, which has some really cool pieces and parts, including these boho beads, which I am crazy in love with. And I'm going to use some chain reaction chain because I love those gold links on these. I'm going to use just the links here because we're going to do something really, really fun and boho and cool. I've also got some incredibly cool bugle beads, and these are like a twisted glass bugle bead. Look at the dimension and the luster on these. They are super fun. So we'll add those into the design as well. I have just so many fun ideas. Okay. I like to take my mix out and kind of lay everything out. My connectors are going to be the main focal point of the design. So I'm just kind of pulling out some earthy tones, some greens and brown tones, just to make this kind of an earthy look. But I definitely want to use those big boho beads. So here's everything I'm going to use. And I'm going to throw in some gold 11-0 seed beads to add a little bit of gold to tie back to those little focal or those large focal pieces. And there's my bugles. I'm going to set everything onto my mat. I'm going to grab some 2-inch gold head pins. They're flat end head pins. And I'm going to do 3 head pins with beads on each of 2 loops on those floral components. So I've got a bugle, a seed bead, then one of those green cubes, another seed bead, and then I'm going to add one of those like cognac colored small teardrop beads, and then another seed bead. And what I'm going to do is create a loop with this. So I'm going to grab my round nose pliers, create a loop, the start of a wire wrap loop, and I'm going to open up that loop before I wrap it, and I'm going to attach it directly to my component. So I'm going to pick one of the loops and start there, and I'm going to grab some chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop and wrap the wire around to secure the beads and to secure the whole thing onto that component. Then I'm going to trim off my excess, and that's our first dangle on the first loop. You may need some chain nose pliers to firm up your little end of your head pin. Then I'm going to take another head pin and I'm going to use a different set of beads. So I've got another one of those cognac drops, and then that little round bead in kind of a creamy tone with seed beads around them, and that makes a little bit of a shorter drop, and I'm going to put that directly onto the loop as well, next to the other dangle that I added. Now you can do any configuration of beads here, and you can do any length, but I wanted a shorter one next to that long one. And then I'm going to grab another head pin and I'm going to do a different set of beads this time. One of those little creamy beads, a seed bead, the little kind of column rectangular green bead, a seed bead, and then that root beer colored bead with the AB finish and a seed bead. And again, I'm going to create my loop with my round nose pliers, open up that loop, and then I'm going to put it on the inside or on the other side of that longest dangle of beads. So I'm going to take my chain nose, hold on to that loop, then do my wrap and cut off my excess, and then make sure that all of them lay nicely together. I love the look of that. So we're going to do the exact same thing on the loop right next to it. So just going to create the same dangles, but I'm actually going to put them in a different order on this side. Well, it's actually the same order. We're just not doing like a mirror image. So I'm doing the shortest one, the longest one, and then the medium one. And the medium one will be on the outside on that loop. You could do them differently if you'd like. Certainly there are endless opportunities with a bead mix like this. There's lots of small beads to work with. And there's some larger ones too if you want to go a little bit bigger here. But I've got two sets of really pretty dangles in lots of beautiful colors together. The greens and the browns are just so complementary of each other. So we've got two sets of really, really cool dangles. And when you start off, you may think to yourself, I'm not sure these really go together, Deb. Well, they do. They actually work really great together once you see them together. I made that question to myself at first, but I really like the way that they all look together. So I'm going to wrap on that last one, trim off my excess, and that's how the bottom of our earring's going to look. Now, we're not going to stop there. We're going to make this a really big and bold bohemian earring. I'm going to cut off about 5 inches of artistic wire in 24 gauge, actually 2 pieces, because we're going to need one for each earring. And I'm going to create a wire wrap loop at one end of my wire, just doing a few wraps just like that, then trim off my excess. Then what I'm going to do is string on a seed bead, and then I'm going to grab one of those cool bead caps from the Canyon Mini Mix and my incredibly favorite cool boho bead. I just love those beads. They just make my heart sing. And sometimes they're a little hard to get the wire through, but they will definitely go through. Then you'll grab another one of the bead caps, and it just creates a cool little layering look for this part of our process or of our design. Now another seed bead on the other side, and then I'm going to create another wire wrap loop. So this could be a link or it could do all kinds of fun things for you, but we're going to add this to our earring, believe it or not. Now you could stop this design right where we ended off with our dangles, and you could use some chain, some of that chain reaction chain to connect it to an ear wire, but we're going to use this. We've got loops on either side, making sure they're facing outward, and we're going to need some links to connect it. So I'm going to use those really cool kind of diagonal squares from the chain reaction chain. So you'll need to snip those off because the loops are closed in between the links. I'm going to use 4mm jump rings here, and I'm going to open one up with my chain nose pliers. I'm going to add one of those links, and they do matter in terms of the direction that you want to add them. So I'm being mindful of which direction the link is going. I kind of want it to like lean into the bead, so I'm attaching it with that 4mm jump ring like so, and then I'm going to take another 4mm jump ring and attach it to that floral component at one of the top loops. But I'm attaching the other side first, and the other side will need also mindful thought of which direction you want that little link to be connected. So you'll see I've got them going in different directions. And now to attach to that component. So we've got those loops up top, just going to add those 4mm jump rings. And now we have what is a super cool earring, but we need to do a little bit more once we make this last connection here to the component, because we don't have a way yet to connect this to an ear wire. So we're going to go back to our chain reaction chain. You see, we just have that big bead up there. We're going to grab 2 links, one of the round links and another one of those diagonal rectangles, and we're going to trim that from our chain reaction chain. And we're going to grab another set of 2 from the chain, and we're going to take 4mm jump rings again, and you've still got a lot of chain reaction chain left to do all kinds of fun things with. So I'm going to take that section of 2 and again be mindful of which direction I want the little diagonal to lean into the bead. So you'll want to think about how you'll use it and how you want yours to look. And so I'm connecting those with a jump ring again to both sides, and it's going to go directly onto the wire wrap loop that we created. So I created a wire wrap loop at either side of the bead section. And so both of those little chain link pieces are going to go on either side. And that is how we're going to add our ear wire. And those little sections of chain do have holes on them. I'm going to attach them directly to a jump ring, or I'm sorry, to my ear wire, but you can use a jump ring if you prefer. So you can attach jump rings to the ends of those chain pieces and then put them onto your ear wire. I pull the ear wire away, the little loop away, and then I pull on those sections. And you may have to try a couple of different ways to get this to actually hang right so the earring faces forward. A jump ring can help with that, so play around with what works best for you. But I've got that ear wire attached, and I'm closing it up, and I am just crazy about this boho statement earring. This is a big one, it's a doozy, and it may be a little bit heavy, so you can certainly modify this piece by not adding that boho bead up top. But these are so much fun. You can find everything to make these fun and fabulous big boho chic earrings at jessiejamesbeads.com, and I'm crazy in love. I hope you are too. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys will give this project a try. Super fun.